Hey Cobra people, I am at an interesting point with the trunk installation on the fiberglass bodied Cobra replica we're putting together. Just wanted to show you a couple of the little subtle details. So you can see there we've got trunk hinges all made up. These have got bronze bushings in them, little 1/4-inch bolts. It's kind of critical to work from the hinges and the latches. The trunk latch is as simple as a little piece of angle iron that goes into the latch hooks of the trunk arrangement. So we've got pieces like the trunk latch plate made up and ready to go. This one has been tacked onto the frame. With the offset on the latch, you can see that most of it hangs off to one side so that the trunk handle can finish up in the center of the trunk lid. The trunk hinges are pretty well centered. The latch is centered obviously around the handle. Let's take a look underneath the bodywork there. You can see we have the tabs welded to the frame, and these trunk hinges have been cut and they've been fish mouthed so that they can now fit up against the trunk frame. They're ready to tack in place now. Before I tack these trunk hinges together, I have to get my frame, which I have made pretty close to the shape of the opening on the car, and set the frame up in place so that it's pretty parallel across the gap of the opening in the bodywork. And I'm just doing a couple of last tune-ups on this. What we want to see is we want to see this frame very much parallel to the body opening on the car when we're all done. So at this point, we've set the trunk frame up on the car, and you can see what I'm doing here is I'm clamping a parallel paint stick, a little piece of wood, whatever it is you're using. So I'm clamping that to the bodywork, and I've got the other end of it sticking out into the opening. And then what I've done is I've simulated the thickness of the panel by adding, in the case of a fiberglass car, it's a 1/4-inch thick shim that I've put in between my body edge and where the panel's going to sit over the top of my frame. So you can see I've put 1/4-inch shims in there to allow for the thickness of the fiberglass. If this was an aluminum car, I would be looking at maybe 1/8 of an inch or 2 material thicknesses for my shims that I'm putting in there around this frame setup to hold the frame in alignment. So we've got the hinges and the frame pretty much in place, and the back edge of the frame with the latch is centered up over the bodywork. I've got my mark on the bodywork there showing where the handle is. I've got my trunk latch mounting plate tacked to the frame, and at this point I am ready to mark the overlap on these tubes and trim these tubes to length, sleeve the inside of them, and spot that frame together. Give it the last couple of tweaks to get the frame lined up with the body, so you can see when you look at the tube frame, it's really pretty parallel, pretty good shape now with the line of the body. So I just wanted to show you the setup. We are about ready to tack pieces together. The next time you see this will be a hinged and latched trunk frame, and it will look something like this, all fitted up and ready to go to the car. This is on the inside of an aluminum frame. The fiberglass skin is on the underneath of it that we're going to be using on the car that I just showed you. But that's what it looks like all put together and fitted up to a car. And we will be back with more progress on this when I can show you the finished setup on the car. Have fun, people. Keep the builds going.